Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry. And as you can see, I've got my Oreck apart again because it has a little problem. And I had mentioned in the last video, I posted about this bearing, and I actually just used it a few minutes ago to clean my kitchen floor. And as I was using it, I realized I was hearing a lot of bearing noise. So I opened it up, pulled the drive cup off, and lo and behold, there was liquid all around here. It looked like water, and there was water, a little bit of water in here, which is really weird. But hang on a minute, put those over there. Very mysterious. So because there certainly shouldn't have been any water there. And there's no water. There's no water up here. I was wondering if maybe somehow when I was I got the microfiber pad wet, a little bit wet under the sink, and I wondered if somehow it had flicked up underneath here. But there was no water in here. There was a little bit of water in here, or it looked like water anyway, in here, and then there was like a film of water on top of the bearing here. And when I spin the bearing, you can hear it making a bit of a noise. Now, so what I'm going to do is I actually just open this up. And you can use a little screwdriver here, and you can pop the moisture seal off of here pretty easily. And I've got some synthetic grease, and I've already started to pack it in here. So I'm just kind of pushing it in. There wasn't much grease visible there, so I guess what was happening is that it was drying out. And maybe as it was running there, because there was so little grease there, it overheated the bearing, maybe, I guess. Although it doesn't, that's all I can think of anyway. And so anyway, I'm putting that grease in there, and we'll see. You can still see or hear some noise in there. It should quieten down. There's no play in it at all, so I'll try and get a little bit more grease in there. I don't want to overdo it because if I get too much grease in there, then it probably would want to leak out of there, and that, mind you, it would just get inside of here, I guess. But anyway, I don't want to overdo it, so I'll try this. Try and get it in there. Probably once it runs for a bit, it'll quieten down again, I would guess. So we'll give that a try. I actually did try to undo this here, and I couldn't get it to budge. I put some WD-40 on this thread. This screw will actually go into the motor shaft, and that's what attaches this entire assembly, the counterweight and the bearing, in place. But I went to try and get it off of here, and it ain't moving. I don't want to damage it, but there is no play in the bearing, so I'm not. If I can get the grease in there, then it'll probably just quieten down. So maybe it needs to run for a bit, and the bearing get a little bit warm, and then the grease will get back in there, and it'll probably quieten it right down again, I guess. That's my theory. So so I'll put the seal back in place carefully. There's like a little lip on the inside there. Got her back. Should be fine. So okay. Well, let's I'm going to run it, but I'm not going to run it without the cap on there, because this thing is dangerous to as it'll be spinning around and everything. So I want to make sure that I don't injure myself. So I'll put this back in place. And so if your bearing, you start noticing your bearing is getting noisy, you can do this. And often you'll be able to save the bearing and make sure it's off before I plug it in there. And my power cable is over here. And plug her in. Okay. I'm going to hold my hand on it for the moment. See, that's kind of noisy. See, that sounds alright, but it's not, there's no weight, there's no drag on it. See, that's too much noise. You can hear that. Hopefully, the grease will get back in there and it'll quieten down. And try it again here. So let's try, let's see, where's my pad driver? Here we are. I'll put some resistance on it. And we'll see what happens. It's not that it's not gonna work. It will work, but the bearing is a little compromised, and if I don't get this straightened out, I will have to replace that bearing. One of the ways you can tell if the bearing is going is when you shut something off, whether it be a vacuum motor or whatever. If you hear it kind of as it slows down, kind of growling, that's your indication. Let's put it upside down. We'll try it this way. Yeah, definitely not a happy bearing. So, next 2 times I use it, I'll be paying attention to it And if this does quieten down, I'll try to remember to comment on this video whether it actually worked or not. Hopefully this will work. Because I couldn't undo that screw there to get at the bearing, which will be unfortunate if I can't pull that bearing. It's just a bearing, you know. But in order to get at it, you got to pull the counterweight off, and then there's a couple of screws holding it on the other side. So let's take a look again. Might as well see what it looks like in here. I had this, I guess I had this one for maybe 3 years. And the broken wire that I just fixed the other day was the first repair I've done on it. And then it's kind of funny because I never noticed the bearing. I never noticed any moisture. Never noticed the grease coming out the other day. So that was kind of a surprise. Let's take a look inside, just see if I sucked in that grease or not. So I'll show you how we get this off of here. You just using the little thing here, and just pop off the seal. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, isn't that interesting? Why is it? Huh. Okay, guys. We got a mystery. Why is there moisture in here? Where is it coming from? That's interesting. You see, and the reason I'm saying there's moisture is because look at what the grease has done. It's turned all milky. Wow. Almost like, I wonder. I have a theory. Okay, I have a theory. Okay, where I have this machine in the van, I have the spray tip for the pre-spray kind of sitting above it. And let's go take a look. I wonder if it dripped down onto the motor. Let's have a look. There's always a reason for things. That's what happened. Wow. It must have just dripped a little bit, and it dripped down into the motor, right through the top of the motor, right through the motor, got into the bearing. And of course, that's going to break down the grease. Lovely. That explains it. All right. Guess I'm going to have to change that. So, that makes for a bit of a challenge. Wow. The bearing is a little bit warm. Well, perhaps if I get some more grease in there, maybe that'll overcome that, and I'm not sure what else to do. I'll have to think about that one. But as I said, I don't think I'm getting this thing off of here. Oh, that is so tight. Oh my goodness. I did put WD-40 in there, but nothing's happened so far. So I guess I figured out why this happened, and I'll just try to get some more grease in there, and it obviously should stop leaking. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll turn this thing over onto the bench here, so whatever moisture is in there hopefully will dribble out, and I'll just leave it at that for till tomorrow. I think we'll see what happens. I'm going to I'll put it on this cloth, and hopefully it'll kind of draw it out of there. That's my plan. Interesting. So we'll turn it over, and hopefully I guess I need to I'll put it up like this so that it sits flat, and hopefully the whatever moisture is in there will not draw out and into that rag. And then I'll re-grease it and hopefully put it back together, and hopefully everything will be fine. So here's a lesson. I think I had moisture dripping onto the top of the motor. It went right through the motor, ended up in the bearing at the bottom. My bad. Okay. All right, I'll let you go then, guys.